Justin Trudeau did was he jumped the gun. He wanted to accuse India of something so that India goes on the back foot. As I said, this is the first time that such a senior person like the Deputy Prime Minister of a country, a member of the Five Eyes, has come out in the open and said there is no evidence. Before letting in Khalistanis, before letting in Pakistanis, you should have thought 10 times. Now, where is desire to look liberal? Jai friends, I'm Major Gaurav Arya and you're watching the Chanakya Dialogues English. Like this video, subscribe to our channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Friends, we have lots of news today and a lot of it is very, very interesting, and I'm going to take you one by one through all the news that we have collected and my team has collected for you. And the first news is that, you see, the Deputy Prime Minister of New Zealand, Winston Peters, he's come to India, and in an interview with a prominent Indian daily, he has said that as a trained lawyer, now Winston Peters is a trained lawyer, and he says that as a trained lawyer, I do not find enough evidence of Indians having been involved in the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar in Canada. This is something that on the floor of the Parliament, Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, had accused India of. He said that India had supposedly orchestrated the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar, and he spoke with absolute confidence, and he said, I have the proof and I'll give you the proof. But it's been months and months and months and months and nothing has come out. And you see, New Zealand is part of the Five Eyes. These are 5 countries that share intelligence. 5 eyes as in 5 intelligence. And the US is there, Canada is there, and you have Great Britain, you have Australia, and you have New Zealand. These 5 countries are part of the Five Eyes, and they together have discussed this issue. And this is the first time somebody so senior, the Deputy Prime Minister of New Zealand, is coming out in an open forum and saying, as a trained lawyer, I don't feel there is sufficient evidence. In fact, what Justin Trudeau did was he jumped the gun. He wanted to accuse India of something so that India goes on the back foot. But what it did was spoil diplomatic relations between India and Canada. If you have proof, put it out in the open. If you have proof, just put it out. Call a press conference, say, hey, India is guilty of killing Nijjar and here is the proof. Or for that matter, give the proof to India. And if you don't want to give it to India, give it to the United Nations. Give it to the International Court of Justice. Give it to somebody, for heaven's sake. Justin Trudeau lied. As I said, this is the first time that such a senior person like the Deputy Prime Minister of a country, a member of the Five Eyes, has come out in the open and said there is no evidence. And absolutely not. This is exactly what India has been saying all along. But Canada never provided any intelligence. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police has not named suspects or made arrests in connection with the Nijjar killing nearly 9 months after the incident. So 9 months have passed. It's going to be a year after 3 months. And there is no proper FIR, there is no arrest, there are no names, there is nothing. There is just this man, Justin Trudeau, standing on the floor of the Parliament and saying that India did it. We have credible allegations. I don't know what credible allegations mean, but, well, he has credible allegations. And this is what. Coming to the issue of Khalistani killing, there is a prominent interview of a couple of separatists. It's a couple of interviews, actually, in a prominent newspaper, and we are posting the link down below in the comment section. And please go there and click on this article and read this complete article. Click on the link, I beg your pardon, and read this entire article. And this talks about Khalistani supporters in the UK, and this mentions the specific case of Kulwant Singh Mothada, a supporter of Khalistan. He expresses fear for his life due to perceived threats from the Indian states. He maintains strict security measures, including monitoring CCTV feeds around his house and frequently changing his car and route while commuting. So, Kulwant Singh Mothada, now he's a hardcore Khalistani, and possibly, I'm guessing, possibly one of the people who tried to, damage our, High Commission in London, and probably one of the people who are responsible for setting up that guy to take down the Indian flag. And in Canada, what has happened is that the Khalistanis have taken out posters with the name of the High Commissioner, the name of so many people who work in the High Commissioner, saying that these people are responsible for the death of Nijjar. Typically, Khalistanis, uneducated, uncouth, ill-mannered, ill-bred. They don't require proof. A rumor will do. And their trainers are the Pakistanis. So, like trainer, like student, like teacher, like student. So, the Khalistanis are just like the Pakistanis in that regard. So no marks for any intellectual rigor there. And he says that the Indian National Investigation Agency has put his name on the hit list along with 15 others. Now, what does he, he thinks, as I said, these guys are uneducated, the Khalistanis. They think that the photograph that the NIA has put on its website is a hit list and somebody's going to kill them. That's not true. What NIA does, FBI does it all the time. FBI has the most wanted. We also have the most wanted. And I think it's a good thing. All the Indians should see the NIA website. I promise to make a video separately for this. We need a video separately for this in which, we'll talk about how the NIA has exposed these Khalistanis, and this has sent, shivers down the spine of Khalistanis. They don't know what to do now. They absolutely don't know what to do. They think that somebody's out to kill them. And these people are perpetually looking, behind their backs, looking over their shoulders, thinking that some assassin is chasing them. And I like this fear. I want this fear. I love this fear. You harm Mother India, you will live in fear. Not that India is trying to do anything. India will never send people abroad trying to kill anybody or eliminate anybody. That is not India's way. It's not our style. We have never done it. We'll never do it in the future. Don't believe what you read in the social media. Those are opinions. That's all. Indians don't do that, but it's good. I like the fear that you have. And this is not where the problems of the, UK end. And there is another problem in the UK, and that is about extremism. Pakistan-fueled extremism. So this is anti-blasphemy extremism in Pakistan. And so let me first tell you that there was the study commissioned by the UK government, and they said, we'll set up a panel of experts and they'll study about this blasphemy-fueled extremism. And where is it coming from? And there was a teacher who was threatened. There were a bunch of students who were threatened. And somebody said, we'll blow up a school, we'll cut your head, etc., etc. Typical radical Islamist stuff. Nothing interesting. It happens all the time with these guys. So they found that it traces back to an organization in Pakistan called Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan. This is what the British authorities found out. And apparently TLP or Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan has an office in UK. Why would you permit? Why in God's name would you permit an organization like Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan to have an office in UK? I mean, freedom of expression is one thing, but not when it, puts the life of people at risk. Today, the same UK authorities that had given permission for the office to be started in the UK are saying that this could result in terrorism anytime. They're saying we're sitting on the edge because Tehreek-e-Labbaik and so many other Pakistani organizations, radical Islamist organizations, are teaching young kids that, this whole Sartan se juda nonsense, this whole idiotic line, Sartan se juda, this is something that they keep on teaching their kids. These Pakistanis, and they're teaching that in the UK, and they're telling their kids, anybody who does anything, any blasphemy of any sort, and, probably Saad Rizvi, the head of Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, he's, by the way, Khadim Hussain Rizvi's son. His father started the TLP. Khadim Hussain Rizvi is no more. He died a few years back, but Saad Rizvi took over, his son Saad. He took over, and this guy is as extremist as his father was. And he's saying, kill everybody. Anybody who opposes you, kill. Anybody who does anything that we construe as blasphemy, kill him. That's what they're doing. And the UK authorities are terrified. And I tell the UK authorities, you should be. Before letting in Khalistanis, before letting in Pakistanis, you should have thought 10 times. Now, where is your desire to look liberal? Where is your desire to look woke? What's happened to you? Scared? You know what will happen? You take steps against TLP and the Pakistanis there who are born there. They are born. Remember, a Pakistani born in UK has his loyalties towards radical Islam and towards Pakistan. I doubt about the Pakistan bit actually, but he has no loyalty or she has no loyalty towards UK. Absolutely not. They live in their slums, they live in their boroughs, each family having 10, 12 kids, living off the state. They are there to take over the UK. They're not there to make UK any richer culturally or economically. No, that's not their idea. The Pakistanis' idea is to take over, produce children, take over the UK. And, it does not begin and start with the TLP. Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan is one institution. There are so many of them. radical Islamists who are teaching kids to blow themselves up. It's happening right in the UK, and you're blind, and you allowed these people to come in because you wanted to be seen as large-hearted. And today, if you throw them out, or if you take action, these very kids born in the UK, raised in the UK, supposedly having British values, these are the guys who will accuse you of Islamophobia and file cases in the Supreme Court against you. Just wait. This is how, they control the system. They'll play the victim card, these Pakistanis, they'll play the victim card, they'll play the Islamophobia card, and they'll get you on the back foot. They'll call you a racist. This is what will happen. Mark my words. Now, about the FTA. Again, about UK, the news is that PM Narendra Modi held a telephonic conversation with his UK counterpart, Rishi Sunak, to discuss early conclusion of a mutually beneficial free trade agreement, and both leaders reaffirmed their commitment to further strengthen the bilateral comprehensive strategic partnership between India and UK. They've been negotiating the free trade agreement since 2022, and 13 rounds are over. Now they're saying that we will do it as soon as possible. And after the European Free Trade Association actually signed a deal with India for $100 billion, this whole UK free trade thing has been given a huge push. And now UK says, okay, our other European brothers have done it, we should too. Everybody wants to take advantage of India's growing story. $100 billion investment. What is this investment about? What is this investment about? Nobody invests unless he has some clarity on the ROI. And these European countries have absolute clarity on ROI. You put in $100 billion into India, you get a substantial profit, or you get a substantial return. That is why they are putting money. There is no love lost otherwise, right? We are not like we are fantastic friends of Switzerland or something like that. We have great relations with Switzerland, but nobody does this for friendship or for charity. People do it because there is an economic benefit involved, and this is what UK wants to take advantage of. They've seen how countries have signed this with India and promised in return $100 billion worth of investment into India, and this is what they wish to do. And the last news that I have for you is very interesting. NSA Ajit Doval has gone to Israel and met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and they've discussed so many things, especially the ongoing situation in Gaza. And the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu updated Indian NSA Ajit Doval on the recent developments and fighting in the Gaza Strip, and highlighted the urgent need for humanitarian assistance in the region, etc. So, India is involved in bringing this war to an end and ensuring that there is peace. But let me tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, and before I take question and answers, I would like to end this with my own views on this matter. This whole two-state solution is rubbish. The problem is not that Israel has taken over Palestinian land, because it was the Palestinians who attacked first and wanted to take over Israeli lands, and Israel attacked them and beat the hell out of them and took over their lands. That is the true story, right? Even if Israel gives back everything, because in 2005, Israel did give back everything. They moved back from West Bank, they moved back from Gaza, they moved back from everywhere. And they said, okay, hey, here's a country we are going. But do you think there was peace? Hamas attacked again and again and again. And even in the future, even when there is, God forbid there is a two-state, Hamas will again attack. They will keep on attacking because, as I've said many a time, and mark my words, believe you me when I say this, the issue is religious. It is not political. It is not about land. It is about that this nation of Israel is surrounded by Muslim countries, and not one country wants to tolerate Jews living amongst them. This enmity is 1400 years old. It has nothing to do with Palestine. It has nothing to do with Palestine. Are you surprised? Don't be. It has nothing to do with Palestine. It has everything to do with Jews. Tomorrow, if, let us assume that all the Jews tomorrow said that we'll convert to Islam, there'll be no war. End of war. End of story. The problem is that they follow a different religion, the Jews. Their problem, Hamas's problem or Hezbollah's problem with the Israelis is that they are Jews, largely Jews. That is their problem. The problem is with religion, their religion, the religion of the Jews. That is their problem. The problem is not, Palestine is just a fake cover story. It's just one nonsensical story. It's an excuse to attack Israel again and again. Palestine. No. The real problem is religion. Thank you very much for watching this video, ladies and gentlemen. And now for the question and answers. I have only one question for today, and this is Prakharsh Srivastav. He says, Jai Hind sir, Jai Shri Ram. This is Prakharsh Srivastav from Kanpur. Prakharsh ji, Jai Hind and Jai Shri Ram to you. My question is, recently we had come to know about China building 628 defense villages near the LAC on the model of Yukang. With the Tibet Autonomous Region, it assumes that it's both for civilian and military purpose. In response to that, India is also building infrastructure and vibrant villages programs. But what more India can do in terms of awareness of the state's people nearby border areas of LAC? We don't know what China is planning to. Need your views. See, Prakash ji, let me tell you, the border people of India know very well. They have been facing the Chinese for a very long time. And in fact, in the 1962 war and even in the 1961 skirmish, the local people, whether it's Ladakh, whether it's Arunachal, whether it's any other place, they joined hands with the Indian army. They helped the Indian army and in trying to fight against the Chinese. We don't have to tell the people. In fact, China is building infrastructure. We are building infrastructure, but it is the Chinese that has to convince the local Tibetans. You see, because you need population for the villages. You need civilians there. They have to convince the Tibetans who are living there. We don't have to convince our people because our people are convinced. They live in that area and have been living in that area for centuries. There is no need to convince, and we are pretty well placed. We are pretty well placed. Very recently, we have sent 10,000 additional troops to the line of actual control, which has seriously rattled China. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that, I come to the end of this video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, press the like button, subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Jai Hind, Vande Mataram, Bharat Mata Ki Jai.